Welcome to Plans Tutorial 2. This is where we're actually going to add dimensions to our cutting board project or our laminated wood project. If you're looking at the screen right now, after the last video, you'll be like, hey, wait a minute, this is a different cutting board. And you're right. The last cutting board, I thought I'd change it up in this one because the last cutting board didn't include a hole in the center, and this will give us one more thing to learn when it comes to what we're going to do in this video, was just put measurements on this. Now, in technical drawing, we refer to putting measurements all over your drawing as dimensioning. So it's up here. We're going to add dimensions. So here we go. This is the drawing you'll carry around in the shop to tell you how it is you're going to make your cutting board. You've modeled it, but now you need this plan with you so that you can follow the sizes on it that we're about to put on. So it's called a working drawing normally. And what we're going to do is, what are the obvious things you would need to know if you were making something? Let's start there. So here I am wondering about this cutting board. Well, I would always look at it and go, well, how big is this cutting board? So let's start by putting those dimensions on it. So click on dimension, and underneath dimension, you have linear dimension right here. And if you read the little dialog box that pops out when I hover over it, it says this is a horizontal or a vertical distance between 2 points. So, okay, let's do that. I am going to pick 2 points here, and we are going to go dimension, linear dimension, and I'm going to go and specify, here we go, it's snapping for me between 2 points. So there, and let's say there. That's 11.9 inches. Well, not a super useful measurement for me right now, but I'm kind of wondering how long this cutting board is. So this is a different view, as we talked about in the last video. Here's our front view. Maybe I could pick that up here. If I zoom in, could I go from there over to here and pull that up? Yes, there it is. That's a nice dimension for me. This one doesn't matter too much, the 11.9, because what's going to happen is I'm going to make this a 13-inch rectangular board, and then I'm going to use the CNC router to cut out the oval. And actually, what we're going to add here is a note that says we aren't even going to make it 13 inches. We have to make it 1 inch longer so that we have a little bit of margin for the CNC router to run around and cut. The router bit is a 1/4 inch thick, so if we make it 1 inch longer, we'll have a 1/2 inch on each side, which is plenty of room for the router bit to run around and cut out our oval. Okay, so I'm going to hit escape for a second because right now I'm still looking to place my next dimension. I'm going to hit escape and get out of that, and I'm going to click on the first one, which I don't think is super useful to me, and we'll delete it. Okay, next one. The question is, how wide is the board from here to here? And I could try this again. I can go up to linear, and I could try to pick this point here, but it doesn't really want, it only wants to pick there or there, and that's not the full width of the board. So if I hit escape, I can get out of this, and I can go up here to dimension again and pick linear. I think I'm going to have to do it over here. This is looking at the board from this side, right? End on, the right-hand side. So this would be its width. And if I zoom in, I can probably pick that point right there, and I can pick that point right there and pull up. There we go. Try to keep them in line with each other. It's a good visual, and the same distance, in other words, away from the object, as they call the actual board. These are objects, these are extension lines, these are dimension lines, and this is the actual dimension. And it's getting this information from the model that you made. So what's next? We know the overall size of the board. Maybe it's nice to know how thick each board is. So let's see if we can achieve that here. Now, what would be a good place to do that? There are some rules around dimensioning. We're not going to pay much attention to that right now. We're just going to get the dimensions on the drawing. So I'm going to try linear again, and I'm going to try to pick between here and here, and I can pull that out. And boy, wouldn't it be nice if I could also go between here and there, but it doesn't want to do that. Like, I'm trying to get the width of that board. So the only other place I can go and grab that width of that board is over here. And so again, dimension, linear. I'm going to grab this one here, I think. Wait a minute, escape for a second. Something's happening. Linear dimension. There we go. From there and to there. And then I can also show from here and to there. Try and get them pretty close to each other. There we go. So now I know that these outer boards, these little brown parts here, these walnut parts we'll say, 2.5 inches and 2.5 inches. And the inner one is 3 inches. I could have fitted in down here, but it would get kind of crowded unless I did this. If I hit escape and stop dimensioning, I can pick it. I can grab this little gray box and I can move the dimension to the other side. And then I could go up and go dimension linear, and I could go between there and there. That could work. So if I have this 3 here, I don't want it here. One of the rules that we try to adhere to in dimensioning is that you don't duplicate dimensions. If a dimension, like the width of the center board, is shown in one location that we like, the other one gets deleted, just like that. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is this hole is a thing. We have to talk about, like, if I was looking at this cutting board, somebody would say, oh, how big is that hole? Well, I can put a size on it by going up to dimension and put its diameter, which is what I'd want to know because I might drill this hole, who knows. Now I click on it and I pull out. Try not to have your dimensions on top of your object. It makes your object a little confusing, so we'll actually put this out here, like that. And now I know the diameter, that's the symbol for diameter, if you've never seen it before, is 1 inch. And the last thing is the location of this. So we have to give it a location from the end or something like that. So let's see what we can do about that. We'll hit center mark right here, and we'll put a center mark on the hole. And then we'll try to dimension to linear dimension between there and out here would be nice. Oh, we have to, like, this oval is giving me a bit of a problem because it won't snap to the absolute end of the board, and that's going to be trouble. So I can't snap there either. So the location on this one will have to probably be shown some other way. So down here I can see what's supposed to look like the hole there. Like we've got this thing set up, if you recall, by double clicking here. We've got it set up with hidden lines, which means when I turn things on their side, I don't just see the edge of the board, I actually see some lines that represent the fact the hole's going through. And I should see them over here too. That's this. So my hole is shown right here, and its location from the edge of the board could be picked up here. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to slide my 8 up like this. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a center line. So up here, there's a center line. I'm going to put that between there and there. Now I have a center line. That gives me something to dimension to. So I can now dimension a linear dimension between this point here and that point there. So as you'd expect, it's in the middle of the board, so it's showing 4 inches. Now you could say, well, anybody could assume that's in the middle of the board, but technically we aren't supposed to assume things. So we have to show it. And the next one here, we could always go center line between these two. So we'll go center line, that's this one here. I can do the shortcut. And then we'll go from there to there, and that gives me something to dimension to. I'll hit escape. I'll move my 13 up by clicking on it and dragging up the gray box there. And now I will dimension this way. Now, if anybody's watching this who knows drafting standards for dimensioning, they're probably screaming their head off right now. That's fine. For our purposes, we're just trying to get the information on the page and not have it be too offending. Like, we don't want to have the dimensions laying on top of our object. That's about it. And then we don't want to duplicate dimensions. But this will get us where we need to go. There's one last dimension. If you were making this, if I sent you this as an email attachment to your woodworking shop and said, make me a bunch of these, you'd have one more question. And what would that question be? Oh, I hear it. Somebody's saying thickness. So we haven't shown how thick the board is on here. So now we're going to do that. Linear dimension between this point there, and this point. Make sure you do get the actual points, otherwise you'll get a weird number, and it's 0.75. Now, this is it'll be fine. We're not sticking to the rules here, so it's good. It shows 0.75. Now, here's my last thing. Sometimes you'll get weird digits, like if it was an eighth of an inch, it would be 13.125, because 0.125 is an eighth. A lot of people don't know the decimal conversions of fractions, and when you're working with your ruler in the shop or your steel scale, where is 0.125 on that? Well, if I teach you how to measure, you're probably looking for an eighth. So let's put fractions on the plan. And they're all in decimals, so all you have to do is head up here to Document Settings, and there's a whole bunch of settings on how these dimensions are displayed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to where it says Format is currently decimal, click on the end, and pull up this dialog box, which is now decimal, and we're going to change it to fractions, but we're not done. The next thing is the precision of the decimal or fraction in this case, and it's currently only going to give 1/4 inch. So if something is a 1/16 of an inch bigger, it's going to go to the nearest 1/4 inch, which isn't good enough. We're going to actually give it a precision of 1/16, which is pretty much what we're going to work to in the shop most of the time. We'll push OK. And now you see all of the dimensions values have changed to fractions. Now we have 2.5 and 3/4 and 1.25 inches, and that might be a little easier to work with. So that's pretty much it. I've got my Woodwork Basic Oval labeled. I would have this saved. It's currently untitled, so if I hit save, it's going to try to suggest a name. I can accept it. Basic Oval Drawing. It's going to suggest a location. I can choose another location, or I can accept it and hit save. All right. That's a lot. But at this point, you should be able to output to PDF, which is portable document format. You can push OK for all sheets, because you might have multiple drawings created, but we only have one. That's fine. And we'll push OK. And then it's going to ask you where you'd like to save your file. Now you're going to save it to your documents location, and you should start a folder for this course and save it there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to open it with Adobe Reader or something like that, and you're going to print it to the class printer, which is room 507. And it will print to the printer, and you will have exactly what you're looking at here, and that's what you need to move forward and make this. This has to be in your hands when you're making it, because you're going to try and make it just as shown. That is all, and good luck.